Oh, my friends, my friends. What time it's been. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe you've forgotten because it's been so long since I made a video, my name is Renegade. Now, normally, although it hasn't been recently, normally I do automotive and motorcycle type content. Building project cars, project bikes. I got a few of them. In fact, right now I'm in my garage, and if you look, I have two motorcycles. That is a 2006 Yamaha R6, covered with dust right now, and it doesn't run. And right there, covered with other parts and dust, is a 1982 Yamaha XS400 Cafe Racer, fully customized, fully custom built, I should say. And that's got a bunch of work I haven't done yet either. Not to mention, if we look out in my driveway, you'll see my sister's 86 Volvo 244 that one day I'll work on. My 86 Porsche 944 that doesn't run. I think it's got an electrical issue or the timing's off, not sure. My 87 245 Volvo that has an electrical issue, which I'll talk more about in an upcoming video. And then my 93 245 that does run, does drive. It's my daily driver right now, but down the road will need body work. It's a lot of projects. And of course behind me is my house. It also needs a lot of work. In fact, just today, I was adding a little bit of trim and decor to my old Victorian farmhouse because, well, you know, it needed it. Ta-da! The start of more. Now right now it's raining, which is the whole reason I haven't been working on the cars, because every day I'm off, it seems to want to rain. Or I'm busy doing something else. It's put quite a damper, no pun intended, on working on the cars. So what have I been up to? Well, frankly folks, it's been a crazy, crazy time, as I said earlier. So, if Renegade hasn't been working on cars and motorcycles, what has Renegade been doing? As you notice, my garage is quite a disaster area right now. I got a battery sitting here, I got to replace, I got polyurethane, I got paint here, a screen here, all sorts of weird stuff. Well, I've been doing a lot of projects. On top of just the fact that, you know, hey, I do have a life. That's the main thing. You know, I got to get up, I got to go to work an 8-hour day. Kind of puts a bit of a damper on a lot of projects. And actually, I just got a new job. Sort of, kind of. I'm going to explain that in another video because I'm waiting for it to actually take effect, which by the time you guys watch this will actually be yesterday. But I'm not getting into it right now because I'm just waiting for it to take effect. Call me superstitious, but I don't want to jinx things. So, getting ready for a new job, as well as continuing to work. And I've got everything else. Regular life, keeping myself healthy and eating and etc. etc. It might not look like it, folks, but it takes a lot to fuel this body. I eat a lot of food. It means a lot of cooking. It means a lot of cleaning. It's a whole nine thing. But with the weather being kind of back and forth lately, I've been working on other projects than just outside projects. Unfortunately, some of them are taking a bit of a toll. Yeah. Gotta love living in an old house and having old things, especially when the house that you took over was a project from someone else. Y'all know what it's like, some of you might know, what it's like to take over a project car or a project motorcycle from somebody. You gotta go back, you gotta fix their mistakes, you wanna change the things that they might have changed, that you want done. It's a big hassle. God forbid it's not running when you start working on it, because then you gotta try and figure out why it's not running, what did they do, did they mess it up, what didn't they do that needs to be fixed. it's a whole big thing, right? Well, a house is an even bigger deal, especially when you're living in it. I'll show you that in a minute, but right now, my house is a disaster. Now, once I clean up my house and make it a little more presentable, I'm going to make a video about the house. Probably actually after I'm done the majority of this project I'm currently doing, I'm going to make a video. I keep promising to do it, but I know it's going to be a long thing, and frankly, call me vain, but I kind of want to show it at least when it's looking decent, not like it is right now as a showcase of my house. You guys know what I mean. So if you notice, I'm kind of a bit of a mess. I'm sweaty and covered in dirt and sawdust and dust. Part of it is because beyond running errands earlier, I'm working on stuff inside the house, and I was putting up those trim pieces that I showed you earlier, but I'm also working on this. Right now, obviously, it's sideways. This is a very, very old cabinet. So you can see there's green on the inside, and there's wood on the outside. So my parents painted it this color. It's a forest green. They painted a lot in my house forest green. My entire powder room was forest green, if you remember an old video of mine. No longer. I'm doing away with all the forest green because frankly, after seeing so much of it, I'm sick of it. The plan was always to strip this cabinet down, and I really wanted to strip it down to wood and put a semi-gloss polyurethane over top of it to preserve it and really show off its wood. Now this cabinet is, like I said, it's very, very old. The story, as best as I know it, is my great-grandfather worked at a furniture store. This is after having retired from the Navy, I think? Navy? Yeah, because my great-grandmother, his wife, was in the Army. She was an Army nurse. My great-grandfather was in the Navy. Not to confuse with my other great-grandfather, who was also in the Navy, but different thing. After retiring, he worked at a furniture store. I don't know if it's because they needed the money to support the 10 kids they had, or whether he was just like me and couldn't sit still. Don't know. But since he worked at a furniture store, when they were getting rid of things, he was allowed to take them. One of which was this cabinet. It wasn't for sale. It was actually a cabinet that they had things on for displaying purposes. Like, they had stuff displayed on it to sell. Now, this cabinet, it's actually much taller. It's in two pieces. The second piece is out in my shed right now because there's not enough room down here for it. And stripping this took way longer than I thought it was going to. I started stripping it from the green color, and it was only then that I realized that, oh, it's not actually, like, my parents painted it green over top of the original brown. So I'm going through multiple layers of paint. And my great-grandparents had it in their basement for a very, very long time. I don't know what year they acquired it. I do know that I never met my great-grandfather. So he passed away before I was born, and that puts it at least 37 years ago. And I said at least because I don't frankly know what year he died. I probably have it written down somewhere, but I'm not going to look it up for the sake of the video. And they had it for a long time beforehand. So do the math. This cabinet is very, very old. And luckily, it has this beautiful wood grain. I mean, the wood is in great shape. Right now it's a little dirty because I've been working on it. But it's a super nice piece. And that, folks, is why you should always follow proper safety in the shop. I literally just accidentally bumped my sander with my foot and turned it on. Also, let me take a minute to address something, all right? I've gotten a few comments that I'm not doing proper personal protection on this channel. There are times that you might see me with an angle grinder, either cutting metal, grinding metal. I'm not wearing safety goggles. I'm not often wearing gloves. Never wearing sound protection. I've gotten some comments about it. Guys, I know, I'm a bad example. don't be like me. Always use proper safety precautions. And it's something that I'm going to try to remember in the future. As some people might actually look at this channel for, you know, an example, and maybe I should be leading by example and setting a good example. But for those of you that commented, I hear you, and I'm going to try and be better about it. But worst case scenario, for those of you who don't know, I'm not exactly the best example with certain things, and that's one of them. Anyway, what's really cool is that this was actually on the top of the cabinet, and this is actually the brown that it was. Grandma Wheaton's Gourmet Shop, and this actually is from the Wheaton Silver Spring area of Maryland. It's where my family is from. It's where I was born, actually. I was born in the Montgomery County area till my parents moved here to Cape May, and now I have a house in Cape May that I didn't ever plan on having, so I guess I live here. Oh well. That piece obviously goes on the top piece, and obviously when I'm done, everything is going to go back on it because I think it's really cool and I want to showcase its origin story. But this is taking a lot of time. I mean, a lot of time. I've been putting down about 3 coats of stripper. Like, put down the paint stripper, wait, scrape as much as I can off, put down another coat, wait, strip down more, throw on another coat, strip down more, and then I gotta sand it. And this all actually has been sanded with 60 grit. So it's a little rough right now, but mostly it's to kind of finish stripping off any of the residual paint. Next I will be sanding it down with 120, then 200, and getting it nice and smooth, or 220. I don't remember what all I bought. Sorry. But I'll be sanding it down before I put the clear coat on. And so I'll be using a semi-gloss. So it's going to look nice. It's going to have a little bit of sheen, but it's not going to be ridiculous. It's kind of the goal. Like I said, that's one project that I'm doing. And unfortunately, that's one project in my kitchen that I'm doing. Yeah, right now my kitchen it's a disaster. Well, let me show you. So it kind of adds up as to why I've been unproductive and why I've just been kind of stressed. See, I don't always keep my house spotless, but I try and keep it tidy and at least functionally clean. I don't like a lot of stuff on my counters. I certainly don't like much of anything on my kitchen table because I like people to use it. You know, for years my family didn't have a kitchen table, so I very much like having a kitchen table to eat at. But right now, not the case. Right now, it's a disaster area. Turn on a light, shed some light on the situation. All this stuff, along with certain other things around the room and in the pantry, are all stuff that was actually on the Grandma Wheaton cabinet, which is in that corner normally. You'll see my old school phone on the ground. Yes, folks, I am so old school minded that I do have a landline phone. Not only do I have a landline phone, but I have a rotary phone in my kitchen. This phone is actually incredibly old. That phone is actually from before there was a phone company. Back when your electric company was your phone company. And it was hardwired into your house. This phone has actually been cut out of a house. It was actually my grandparents' house. This is actually the very phone that my mother first learned to use a phone on. So it's old. It was cut out of their house and rewired to work with modern phone systems. I didn't do that, but it's really cool that it was done. Normally, that would sit on the cabinet that's here. And if you look, you'll also notice that there are 2 different colors of paint here. There's a lot of that in this room, honestly. So, in the process of stripping down Grandma Wheaton to, and yes, I refer to it as Grandma Wheaton, the cabinet. That's what it says, so that's what we've always referred to it as. the process of stripping it down and clear coating it, refinishing it, the whole 9 yards. Exposing this leads me to think maybe it's time to repaint finally. But first, I gotta do another project because it's been irking me for some time. By the way, I have a lot of cabinets in my kitchen. I have a pretty big kitchen to begin with. But you see, there's a lot of cabinets here. And my parents weren't exactly the most gentle of people, and they slammed cabinet doors a lot. Certain cabinets, particularly this cabinet, didn't close properly because the hinges were actually bent and tweaked and all sorts of fun jazz. But now I'm actually going through and I'm replacing the hinges. You'll notice they're nice and black, whereas these ones down here are white. White ones messed up, black ones brand new. But the paint is old and dingy, and somebody else started painting and didn't really paint everything, just kind of slapped paint around and left big chunks that were the old color. So, well, if I'm gonna be replacing the hardware, I might as well paint so I don't have to paint over the hardware or around the hardware. So that leads into this. Which means as I go down here, these cabinet doors, I had to take down the pots and pans to be able to get to them. By the way, yes, those pots and pans are very old. Yes, they work wonderfully. No, I'm never getting rid of them. No, I don't want to get new ones. I mean, this wok is very, very old. But you know, to get to those, I had to take these down, which means now I can get to the top, and it's a whole big mishigash. A lot of, it's a lot of work. Right, Orion? Look at this cat. Look at this boy. Hi. Such a handsome boy. He doesn't often understand the video thing. He understands when I'm talking on a phone, but when I'm talking to myself and talking to a camera, he doesn't quite get it. So yeah, it's been a lot going on. Got a lot of projects in the works. And I got some cool stuff to share with you guys really soon. So I'm very much looking forward to telling you guys about my new job. Because yes, folks, I am a YouTuber with a job. Still hate the term YouTuber, but unlike many other people that do YouTube, I don't do this full time. This is in addition to my job, and the job's got to take priority just because I got to pay the bills. Orion says he needs kitty crunchies and greenie treats, so for that I need to have money, which means I got to make money and got to work. Yeah, that's it. It's a lot going on, and I'm very much looking forward to telling you guys about certain things. Like I said, the job, that's a funny story, and I can't wait to actually sit down and explain it all to you. So I'll be doing that very soon. That starts on Saturday. So for you all watching this, that was yesterday. I just started my new job, and well, I can't tell you how it's going yet. It's almost like time travel. And then, yeah, all these projects and just life in general. And can't wait to tell you about the job. Can't wait to get more into the cars. And as soon as I have projects done and my house doesn't look, my kitchen doesn't look like it's a war zone, and other areas of my house don't look like they were war zones, I want to do an actual showcase video about the house. And some of it is a mess, and some of it will be a mess in said video, but it's just kind of the nature of what it is right now. And yeah, for instance, I have a cardboard box with paper spilling out of it right now in the front room, and the reason I have that is because my cat loves it. She adopted it. It is now her fort, and I just gotta live with it. Here's what it is. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. As you all know, I'm still alive, I'm still working on things, and I got a lot of cool stuff coming up to show you. So next week, I can promise you there will be a video, because I'm going to be sitting down to record that very soon. So So until then, y'all have a good one. Keep rocking and rolling. I will keep taking your visits. See you in the next one.